Today is December 1st, and you know what that means. The Iowa caucuses are just 2 months away. The presidential candidates know there's little time left to sway voters, and the battles between them are intensifying. It's getting exciting. First up, Marco Rubio versus Ted Cruz, squaring off on the issues of surveillance and national security.
There are Republicans, including Senator Cruz, that have voted to weaken those programs. That's just a part of the record. It's nothing personal.
A PAC that is supporting Marco Rubio is putting about $200,000 in running an attack ad in the state of Iowa right now, going after me on national security. The reason that Rubio's allies have resorted to false attack ads is they are very, very nervous about our surge in the polls, about the fact that conservatives are uniting behind our campaign.
All right, the gloves are off. Cruz versus Rubio. How do you call the fight? Bowling?
Well, it looks like Ben Carson over the last couple of maybe 8 days, if you go to Real Clear Politics, they have nice graphs on each candidacy. Ben Carson seems to have slipped, I don't know, somewhere around 8%, 7 or 8% over that period. And it looks like Cruz and Rubio have picked up some, Trump a little bit, but Cruz and Rubio have benefited the most from it. So they're going to go head to head. And I think they're very well liked. Both of them are very, if you're not a Trump person, I think a lot of people right now are saying it's going to be either Cruz or Rubio, both doing very well, both doing great in debates too. So December 15th is the next debate. We'll see how that plays out.
So Carson's on like life alert. He's like calling life alert. I've slipped, I've fallen, and I can't get up.
But he's a surgeon, so he can operate on himself.
That would be convenient. Yeah.
I think that the substance of the sound bites that you played is really interesting debate for Republicans on national security, because I think Ted Cruz tries to play it that he's on the side of the people, okay, and that he's trying to paint Marco Rubio as a crazy neocon, when actually I think there's a lot of Republicans who think, okay, I actually dislike what President Obama's been doing. I can't quite get to where Rand Paul is, and I'm more comfortable where Marco Rubio is. And so I think that debate within the Republican Party in a broader sense, having these two hash it out is pretty interesting to me.
It is. I like it too.
No, it is the most important conversation that we can have right now in the age of ISIS, where we just did a whole block on this climate stuff. National security is the only thing that matters. When something happens in terror, everything else falls off the newspaper, and especially since the metadata gathering expired Saturday, right? That's no more. That was 2 weeks after the Paris attacks. That's like throwing away a flashlight during a blackout.
Terrible.
We need these tools. We need these tools, and evidence shows that the chatter went dark after Snowden's leak. I know this is going to be fixed, probably in the next election, but something could happen.
Yeah, what's interesting to me is how Rubio has evolved. Rubio has become far more hawkish in the course of this campaign. Yeah. And it's interesting that he now goes after Cruz, who I always think of as very conservative, but he goes after Cruz as having weakened national security, only in terms of votes on military budgets, but even on the point that you were raising, Greg, which is about surveillance and the right of the government to get involved and to, peek into violate some civil liberties, arguably, but to peek into emails and the like encryptions. So when I look at Rubio, I see Rubio as feeling he's got to occupy a space with the conservatives that he thinks Cruz is in right now. And he's the one that I think is on the offensive. I'm not sure I agree with what you said about the fact that where Carson loses, evangelicals, the only gains go to...
I didn't say evangelicals. I'm simply saying that since he's had a tough time with foreign policy over the last 8 days, he had a bunch of stumbles. His numbers were dropping, and the support seems to be being picked up by both Cruz and Rubio.
And not Trump.
Well, a little Trump, yeah. Trump's up a few points, but the majority of what Carson lost went to Cruz and Rubio.
They're still far behind.
And I guess it's in Rubio's benefit to draw that, to highlight where, kind of paint Cruz in that corner of the NSA, of the Fourth Amendment issue that he took a stand on, and he's going to have to support.
Well, he puts Cruz in the same category as the ACLU.
Well, he puts him with Rand Paul.
Yeah, but maybe that's what he needs to do if you want to pull ahead. Right now, they're really close in the polls. So if you want to say, hey, look, I'm the guy that's really strong on national security and foreign policy, I'm not going to be like the other team, I'd say that too all day long. Be running with it.
Although there is debate on whether or not. I mean, the metadata is still collected. It's just not automatically collected by the NSA.
Because guess what? They don't care about Greg's weird cat videos. They don't care. They're interested in nice.
They're not weird. They're tasteful.